really love planning.
Okay.
And at the beginning, though, I would get carried away because I was in that rut of feeling like I had to tick boxes.
You're an A-type?
Because I've never done a test, but all signs are leading to that.
You should see her plan.
It's amazing.
But now with a bit more experience, I've learned that you can still do that if that's what you enjoy, but maybe not for the whole year. You know, maybe it's just plan for that month or plan for that week and leave spaces so you can be flexible, or even plan in reverse. So write what you have done or what you have accomplished if you're having one of those weeks, just to, you know, encourage yourself that, oh yeah, we did do something.
Yeah.
And so that's a way where you can kind of tick both boxes in the sense of, that I feel like I've got something on paper or in mind to fall back on if things go a little bit haywire. But
see, I learned something
constricting you.
I learned something off you that way, because I am a complete creative, and I'm like, let's just do this, let's do that, let's do this. And often my days would fall flat because I did no planning. So I might just go, we'll do the curriculum. But then the day comes and I'm like, oh crumbs, I didn't photocopy that, or I didn't do that, and now they're losing attention. And so, like, it's been good watching you because you glean off each other. Yeah. And I think probably the opposite. Like, you probably learned to relax a bit watching how lazy you
are. You saying, is this an intervention?
No, but, like, you do learn of each other's strengths and weaknesses. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like, I've learned from you, like, oh, no, if I actually plan it, it might succeed. It might actually, you know what I mean? So, you learn off each other too.
Oh, absolutely. Like, Kate's really showing me that to include more getting out of the house.
To spend more petrol.
Yes.
Yeah. But I don't think I prioritise that enough. And then by the end of the week, you're kind of feeling like
cabin fever.
Oh, I feel,
yeah. What I was thinking when you were saying that is we get out of the house because that's what we need. And I think sitting down from time to time with your kids, have a little meeting of sorts. I guess we've had the perspective of our kids have been in school. And so they've known the pros and cons of school, and they know the pros and cons now of homeschool. But we don't shy away from that. We kind of talk about it. And every now and then I'll not sit down with my kids, but we might be driving and I might say, what do you miss about school? What did you love about school? And my kids might say, oh, the awesome science. I don't feel like we don't do enough science in school. I'm like, what would make it better? How should I include more science? Things like that. Staying really humble and willing to adapt and change.
And listen to them.
Flexible, you know. Letting your kids know that you are doing this for them. You're doing it for all of you as a family, but you want it to be fun. You want to have fun teaching it, and you want your kids to have fun learning it, because you want to, I think the Charlotte Mason quote is, light their fire, not just fill their bucket with information, but light their fire so that they want to just keep learning for the rest of their lives. And so meeting with them from time to time and coming at it from a really humble perspective of saying, I'm actually doing this for you. What do you think would make this more enjoyable for all of us? You'd be surprised at how the answers they give you are quite profound and helpful. You know?
And I found even, not academic wise, but even with stuff that's happening in the home, that's a really valuable tool that I've been learning is if, say the kids are getting into the habit, or we're all getting into the habit of maybe not tidying up a certain thing and it's really getting on my nerves, rather than losing your nut, talk about it and say, and tell them, explain why I'm finding that's really helpful in training them to develop a certain habit, is telling them the why, and that it's not just because I said so, but because it works for us as a family, or for
communicating is
communication.
It helps, doesn't it?
Novel idea.
I was saying to my youngest daughter this morning, I said, look, if you do that again, I'll have to get you in trouble and punish you, and I don't want to do that to you. I don't want to send you to your room, so don't do it, because I don't want you to go through that this morning. Sounds like I'm going to do something really bad, but it wasn't that bad. And she was like, good to know. Okay, I won't do it. And normally I'd say, right, 3 times and you're out kind of thing. But talking to your kids like you are all a team. You're all home together. You all work together. Not just, I am mum, I am superior, you are down here, and I'm going to talk at you all day. Rather than get down to their level is I found has helped me.
What about things for yourself? Like, I know that sometimes having a hobby that isn't all about my children all the time. Even though I do like homemaking and I do like those things, but sometimes just having things that I enjoy doing.
Video editing.
But it's good for the mind, isn't it? And it also, I find too, it helps the kids go, Mum's quite interesting. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's good for them to watch you model enjoying learning, you know? So
absolutely,
I find that can help get me out of a slump.
Just doing something for yourself and filling your own cup. I love to sew or be creative in other ways, and it's so important.
It's showing your kids that life's not just about school, it's about enjoying life as a whole.
Absolutely.
I got into running a little while ago, 2 lockdowns ago, and I think everyone got into running when they couldn't leave the house.
I didn't. Cooked a lot and ate a lot. I never ran. I don't think I've ever run.
It was out of personality for me as well.
Exercise?
Was someone chasing you? I got into running, and it was really good for my mental. I have crazy mental energy sometimes, and I just go.
For you.
It's not a humble brag. But it was so good for me, because I would leave the house, run away from my family.
You just wanted to run away from your children.
I did. At the end of the day, I did. I did come home though, so that was good. But what I noticed with my kids was every time I'd go for a run, they'd go, "You going for a run, Mum? Yeah, cool. How much are you going to do, Mum?" And I was like, "Oh, they're cheering me on." And then I'd come home and they'd want to know how it went, and it was almost like they were really proud of me for having my own life.
Good on you, Mum.
Good on you, Mum. It's not just about us. You're cool. I don't know. I think it says a lot to your kids that I'm my own person. I have my own personality, my own likes, and
I think that's funny, because I remember when I was a school teacher, when I was a kindergarten teacher, and one of the kids said to me, "Do you sleep here overnight?" And they didn't have that outside perspective that you are just a normal human being that has a life, and you go home and you have a family. And I thought that was funny, but it's always stuck in my mind with my kids. It takes a while for them to learn that
you're your own person.
Mum has feelings, Mum has a life. You know what I mean? So just to understand sometimes from their point of view that it's not really their fault, it's their maturity level. And they just don't get it. They don't get that the world doesn't revolve around,
You have to remind them. You have to say, I'm a person too.
Mummy needs space. Get off me.
And it's okay sometimes, like, to go and say, "I'm just going to shut my room for 5 minutes. I just need a bit of a quiet moment. I'll be out." Don't take an hour. 5 minutes. Keep communicating.
Fall asleep. 3 hours later.
Where's Mum? Like, communicate to your kids. I'm just keeping my mental health in check. I'm just going to go and have a quiet moment. I'll be back with you. And, it reminds them to treat you like a human being, just like you treat them, with respect.
Sometimes.
This is going down.
We're all getting tired. We're tired.
I think at the end of the day, life at home is messy. It's not perfect. It's not a normal school day. If we take the guilt and the pressure out of it, while still doing practical things to keep us motivated, we're going to have our ups and downs. We might even have our really low seasons in life, but that's life, isn't it?
And you'd have them if you're in school, and you'd have them if you're at home.
And I think sometimes talking about that school and homeschool comparison, homeschooling does tend to have a slower pace. And so that means sometimes you're going to hit milestones a lot slower. And that took me a long time to come to terms with, because you are sometimes seeing other families, you know, hitting those milestones. But if you just remember that it is a slower pace, and to make the most of that opportunity, it can help take that pressure off.
That's right.